All right, welcome back everyone to the latest episode ng Deep Dive with Richard Hidaran. But as I said, meron tayong special series yung mga change makers. We earlier had Commissioner Heidi Mendoza to talk about yung issue ng accountability, yung dapat magkakaroon tayo ng pananagutan sa loob ng gobyerno, fiscalizing the government and how money is spent to make sure na hindi binababoy yung taxpayers' money. So as part of the Changemaker series, we also have other champions of good governance and of course, the greatest mayor of Baguio. Just kidding. Kasama natin si Mayor Benji Magalong. Salamat, Mayor, for making time for us.
Hi Richard, hi to everyone sa ating mga viewers. Maraming maraming salamat po. Thank you Richard for having me today.
Salamat, Mayor Benji. Obviously, of course, people know that, we're family friends and I personally appreciate you dropping by the wake of Lola. Hindi pa nag-sink in sa akin yan. I'm sure that, even on your part as being someone who's very humane and compassionate, the memory of Lola is with us. So let me personally thank you again for making time and all. So I'm just being transparent na this is not a 100% neutral objective conversation, but I'll try to be as objective and I'll push you a little bit later on because to be honest, Mayor, the conversation nowadays, nagmamarites ako with iba ng, oh, yung mayor na, parang pro Duterte naman yan, di ba? Kaya ganyan, ganyan. Tapos yung iba naman, oh, yung mayor na, ganyan, ganyan. So later na, I'll ask you a little bit about that, Mayor Magalong, especially because you serve as the COVID-19 pandemic contact tracing czar back in the day. You had good relationship with the previous administration among others. May nakita akong pictures with you and Bongo among others na pino-forward sa akin. Kasi my friends ako na friend ni Isko. Pino-forward ko naman yung picture ni Isko and like Philip Salvador gan sila. Hindi, ikaw nga yung mayor mo with si Bongo eh. So, I'm just being very honest and transparent about this mayor.
Yes, yes, yes.
I want people to realize na, this is not mga, I mean, Tony talks are great, but, I don't want this to just be Pakyu talks. We want to have a serious conversation. And to be fair, Mayor, the reason also I want you on our show is because we have been also accused. I've been accused of being a bit too solid north. Bakit Richard, puro kang ano kay Duterte, bakit hindi yung sa administration and all? Bakit puro kayong
Yeah.
Sara-Sara, di ba? So, sabi ko, yeah, we'll be fair and we'll talk about, all concerns about good governance and all. So, unang-una, Mayor, kamusta? My reading is, and I've heard the race is very tight and very hard. Last time I checked, which is honestly surprising considering the national profile you have, and you're a champion of good governance in the country and beyond.
Well, alam mo kasi dito sa politika, alam mo, money plays a major role. But looking at the voters sa Baguio City, we have a different kind. Ano? In fact, dito sa Baguio City, it's just one of the very, very few places now sa buong Pilipinas where vote buying never succeeded. You know, traditional politicians continue to buy votes, but there's no guarantee that the people of Baguio will vote for you. But that is something that we'll never know. You know, there is always a first time, and with all the money that is coming in from different places, from different big personalities, then and us, talagang halos kon kami, halos talagang naghihikahos kami. Well, that would probably be one of the difference. But as I've said, million-million ang pera nila, pero kami naman million-million ang good governance. So tingnan natin kung paano boboto ang mga residente ng Baguio.
Mayor, I wanted to ask you on this. I mean, obviously, as a Baguio boy myself, I'm very proud of the fact that we have a much more middle class society back in Baguio. I think maybe it's also the American legacy. I think in terms of human development index, no, ka-level yata natin some of the Southern European countries like Croatia, among others. So we have the highest HDI in the country,
Yes.
Benguet
Yes.
province. So maybe that explains why na the way politics run is much closer to, let's just call it, a more mature middle class society, and perhaps your success in previous election races is a reflection of that. I mean, it's hard to imagine running a kind of a good governance centric race at the LGU level the way you have done. Again, at the national level, ibang usapan kasi na may branding, may momentum, what Pinoy did, what other leaders did. But at the LGU level, I think you don't need to remind people how difficult the realities are. Kasi minsan tingin ko masyadong focus ang mga tao sa disinformation and automation. Eh. Sabi ko minsan the cheating happens even before the vote is casted. Vote buying happens before the vote is casted. Command votes happen before even the voting booths open. But as you correctly pointed out, Baguio generally has been impervious to that. So, Mayor, how are you making sure na Baguio maintains that positive exceptionalism. And hindi ko sinasabi yan bilang pagyayabang na kami Baguio, we are better than everyone. But I'm very proud of that and I'm very protective of that. Mayor, how do you make sure na tuloy-tuloy yung ganitong momentum na sisiguraduhin natin na money politics doesn't dictate terms? Although, of course, in terms of fairness, Mayor, I'm not gonna confirm that's the case with the other side. Maybe I'll have to talk to the other side of this equation also soon for fairness. But on your part, how do you make sure na ganun pa rin yung kalakaran sa Baguio, which is beyond money politics?
Alam mo, tuloy-tuloy yung pagkikipag-ugnayan namin sa iba't ibang mga sektor at the same time sa mga communities. Ano? In fact, we have now increased further our community engagement. At the same time, tuloy-tuloy rin yung aming social media, itong mga fact-check. Ano? Um, Alam mo, napakaraming kasinungalingan na ikinakalat, mga lies, mga intrigues. And it's so appalling that because, they have hired the services of taxi drivers. Alam mo, they're paying the taxi drivers. Meron silang scripted na sasabihin. At nakakalungkot na they will engage the passengers at biglang sasabihin na lang they will engage them about the elections at pag dumaan sila sa isang structure sasabihin yan pag-aari ni Magalong yan pag-aari ni Magalong yan pag-aari ni Magalong yan nakakalungkot hindi lang yun alam mo Richard they have also penetrated the senior citizens. And then recently, pati mga bata, they're using them to spread the fake news sa social media. Kaya mismong isang religious group, they've engaged one high school student, a group of high school students, isang high school dito sa isang barangay rito para lang i-promote yung kung ano, yung advocacy to address fake news, tapos address disinformation and misinformation matindi talaga, no? Alam mo, kuminsan, hindi ko nga alam kung sinong kalaban ko dahil lahat sila, hindi naman nila binibira yung mga kasamahan ko sa lineup. Ang binibira lang nila lagi, iba yung tinatakbuhan nila pero binibira nila yung mayor, diba? Councilor pero binibira lang yung mayor. Kaya kuminsan talaga, nakita mo talaga, it's a systematic, deliberate, what's this, structured na demolition job eh. Kaya as I've said, we're here to promote the truth. Sabi nga nila, the truth is like a lion. You don't even have to defend it because it will defend itself. Just let it loose. So yun ang pinapanghawakan namin, yung katotohanan. And we have all the documents that would prove that we're telling the truth. We have all the pieces of evidence. In fact, we are on open government partnership. Anybody can just come to the City Hall and I will immediately sign any document. Kung anong gusto nilang tingnan, anong mga financial gusto nilang tingnan, immediately without even thinking about it, bibigyan ko kagad sila because as I've said, we have declared ourselves as an open government. We have been accepted dun sa OGP network. It's a network, global network. Apat lang sa buong Pilipinas ang membro niyan. It strongly advocates yung transparency, accountability, and citizens' participation. So in the entire worldwide, there are only about 160 local government units out of the thousands and thousands of local government units who are members of that. Baguio City in the entire country with about 1,600 local government units, apat lang kami member ng Open Government Partnership.
Well, it's good you pointed that out actually, Amir, about itong Marites operations, no? Because I noticed since last year, and I would even say since 2023, nag-pick up ito laban sa'yo, no? I'm hearing Marites right and left. And me, of course, Mayor, you know me. I mean, I'm in the midst of politics. I hear all sorts of crazy stuff. A lot of people, I just raise my eyebrows. Like, saan nyo naman nakuha yan, di ba? Because I remember very well, many people with conviction would say, meron kami ebidensya na si Leila de Lima talaga ano yan ang bayaran ng mga drug dealers and all. Sabi ko, saan yung kinuha yan? Saan yung kinuha yan? And then later on, they all had to slap their own face. Because, I mean, some people very close, very smart people fell for that. And then I had a very interesting conversation with Christian Esquera when we were together in Taiwan the other year. And si Christian, he was talking about yung theory nila how Marites is spread in a systematic way. And how that was used against Senator De Lima. And I realized, actually, this is applicable model, di ba, to anyone. Kaya ako, every time I hear na Marites about you or something like, ayan na naman tayo. And ayan naman tayo because, Mayor, I mean, you should have seen this coming, right? In a sense that hindi naman nagsimula yung good governance, championship mo or advocacy, yung itong adikain mo, itong this year lang sa issue ng budget this year, this has been there since your re-election, right? At nung binuking mo yung paano nine-negotiate yung mga kontrata, yung cuts ng mga different mga politiko, kawawa yung mga contractor, kawawa yung taxpayers' money. So you see this coming, and you know, at the end of the day, Mayor, of course, you're a man of you trained in PMA. You know that politics is also about being prepared, right? What did you do to make sure na knowing na they're gonna come after you, right? Kasi ang dami mong binangga eh. Ang dami mong binangga over the past few years. And I'm not saying this in a parang in a way that I'm like criticizing. I'm saying that like, you know, with responsibility comes also enemies, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Richard. Ano? Yung character kasi was not developed when you occupied a certain position, especially in politics. Ano? That was developed way, way, way before, especially during your developmental stage. High school pa lang ako, alam mo, third year ako, high school, alam mo yun, yung pinaka-adventurous na year eh. Pero every time na may examination, I go to the back part of the classroom. I do my own thing there. Hindi ako magtatanong ng sagot sa mga classmate ko maski bumagsak ako, hindi ako mag-cheat. Another is alam mo nung fourth year high school kami sa St. Louis Science, ano. Alam mo, sinumbong ko yung mga klase ko doon sa leakage. Kaya galit na galit sila sa akin. Tapos, and then I entered the Philippine Military Academy. Tapos, I was elected by my classmate to become a member of the Honor Committee. Alam mo, yung Honor Committee is an elite one group of cadets who actually try. They are just like a jury that tries yung honors, that implements the honor system at the same time, try cadets who violated the honor system. So sabi nung ano yun, honor system niya, a cadet does not lie, cheat, steal, nor tolerate those who do. In the same manner that what that was also, it strengthened my principle when I was in the Philippine National Police, fighting corruption. If you remember, I participated in the 1986 na people power, but we were told to stay here in the city of Baguio. Another is yung 2006, I was even, alam mo siguro na we almost launched a rebellion, against a, an administration na we perceive as, they're committing anomalies during the election. And then, nakita mo naman siguro yung track record ko, but I'm willing to sacrifice my career, my ambitions, and even my life. Talking about disclosing to the during a congressional hearing yung mga drug lords who were in jail pero they continue to manage the drug business in the entire country. I receive a lot of threats and a lot of offers as well na huminto lang ako mag-testify meron darating sa akin na monetary reward coming from them. The same time, may mga threats din. Ganun din yung nangyari doon sa Albayalde case, na I also receive a lot of threats. Tapos ito na naman, itong laban ko na naman dito sa corruption. At binangga ko na nga yung mga powerful people. And I expected that something's going to happen, But I never expected that it will be a sustained,
Right.
systematic demolition job, systematic, deliberate demolition job. So ngayon, I'm actually, facing all these challenges. But as I've said, I'm not going to abandon this crusade.
When was the last time, Mayor, na tatlong back to back naging mayor ang isang sa Baguio? Parang not many, no? If ever, I'm just also trying to realize, ang mga taga Baguio ba, sanay ba magpapalit ng mayor every other term or something?
No, karamihan ng mga mayors dito natatapos naman nila yung kanilang 3 terms dito.
Right. So
Probably you're talking about Ifugao na usually sa Ifugao kasi 1 term lang mga congressman, governor,
yeah,
except for this governor na naka 2 terms, amazing nga si Governor Jerry Dalipog.
right. The broader car region, no? Medyo mataas yung yung circulation na frequency. Going back to this, obviously yung latest na mainit na issue na you've been part of is yung concern niya about the budget. And here I just want to be fair kasi marami nagsabi, Richard, you're not paying also enough attention because parati mga sa impeachment, piatos, ganun. We'll go to that later on. But I want to ask you, Mayor, um, marami ka nang binangga to begin with before 2025. And then next thing I know, you're also coming all out, very critical of the budget this year. Some of our friends, sila Cello, among others, have gone so far as kind of phrasing it something along the lines of worst budget ever, among other things. So a couple of our friends who are in the budget and accountability kind of advocacy, they have been very, very critical of this. I want to get your point of view, Mayor Magalong. Where did your criticism come from when it comes to yung kasalukuyan ng budget ng gobyerno?
Well, I totally agree with with the statements of Chelo Magno, pati sila former Secretary Jokno, and all the other distinguished individuals who are very, very critical of the current GAA, no? Alam mo, mismo yung mga taga administrasyon na mismo, during one of our discussions, it was a private discussion. And one of them was saying na, look at what happened dito sa GAA. Sabi niya na ang daming binago during the BICAM. So ako naman nag-react. Sabi ko, Mr. Secretary, nakita ko nga na ang daming discrepancy. Sabi niya, ang laki pa ng discrepancy. Hindi lang yan na Mayor Benji, sabi sa akin. Hindi lang yan. It was a different animal. Very different from the from the president's budget. Kaya nga, sabi niya, talagang sumasakit ang ulo namin dyan. That alone would show that, something was wrong. Something happened during the BICAM. And ano na lang ang gamit ng mga committee hearing, both House of Representatives and Senate. So much time, so much effort, so much money was spent. So much preparation was spent coming up with a president's budget. And then in just a matter of a few days, biglang totally binago lahat. Tapos nakakalungkot na inaportion pa nila yung kanilang mga na-portion pa nila yung mga ibang malalaking budget para doon sa kanilang AKAP, para sa kanilang mga pork barrels sa DPWH, kung saan pang ahensya. Are we just simply going to be silent about it?
And
Yun
also
nga
the
yung question.
discrepancy, yung education spending. I think Justice Carpio, we had him multiple times on this show pointing out that medyo may pagka-questionable yung counting of what counts as educational, yung kung anong judicial academy. Pati munting na, PMA ba? Sinama na rin yung mga program. Parang that doesn't count necessarily as DepEd or education funding, right?
Alam mo, kwan na lang yun eh. Palusot na lang. Diretsuhin ko na lang, palusot na lang yun. No? Just to justify yung malaking discrepancy between the education's budget for education rather, and for the public works. Ano? Kasi nga, sabi nga ng Constitution, dapat mas malaki yun sa atin. Alam mo ba na every opening ng klase, sino ba ang namumblema? Magtanong ka, Richard, sino ba ang namumblema? It's the local government unit. Karamihan ng tulong na ibinibigay namin pagdating sa brigada, eskwela, talagang ang namomroblema dyan, local government, pagpuproduce ng mga pintura, mga upuan, pagsasaayos ng mga eskwelahan, pagbabayad ng mga workers, ano pa to, at iba't iba pa. Ang dami namin ginagawa para lang siguraduhin na maayos yung pagbubukas ng eskwela. Pero nakakalungkot isipin na bakit binawasan nila? No? Binawasan nila. And in fact, even no less than the DepEd asked for a higher budget, pero binawasan nila. Alam mo ba na hindi lang yun? Meron pa pala akong nalaman na pati yung budget ng NCIP, which amounts to about 400 million, nawalan sila ng budget na 400 million. So in short, wala nang scholarship sa mga IP. Pangalawa, wala na ring livelihood programs for IP. And according to the chairperson of NCIP, alam mo, Mayor, itong ang ginagastos namin ngayon, sarili namin pera, itong trouble namin, para lang makapag-engage kami ng mga IP groups. So nakakalungkot isipin, ano? Pero tingnan mo, nilagay nila sa mga nilagay nila sa mga public works na alam naman natin na sino nakikinabang. Ah, kilala mo ba kung sino ang tatanungin kita, Richard, sino ang namimili? Who selects the regional director of DPWH? Next question is, who selects the district engineer of DPWH. Is
Ako,
it the
actually,
secretary
Mayor,
of
mas concerned
assistant?
ko. Ano, how much money went to flood control? Yun ang favorite project ko eh. That flood control projects ay nakaka-tasky lang.
At sagutin ko muna yung kung ano. Just to give you an idea, it's not Secretary Bunuan who selects the RD and the district engineer. These are the lawmakers. These are the lawmakers. Kaya nga, talagang makikita mo kagad na meron ng collusion eh. Yung dalawa eh. May collusion yung dalawa. Lalo-lalo na sa mga project. Kaya kita mo, maraming rig project. And that is the reason why they prefer itong mga flood control projects. Kasi ito yung mahirap i-monitor, mahirap i-measure, at madaling i-magic. No? Kanyan let me mention to you several projects na talagang mahirap i-monitor. Yung binanggit ko kanina, ang mga paborito nila, flood control, road opening, asphalt overlay, itong rock netting projects, o itong soil erosion projects. Um, itong bago ngayon, itong solar light. Hindi ko pa nilalabas yan, pero meron na rin yan, solar lights. Ano? Siguro nabanggit ko na yung cat's eye, nabanggit ko na rin yung road safety device. Ito yung road barrier. Pero ito na naman bago nilang ginagawa, itong solar lights. Nakakalungkot yan. Ano? Alam mo bakit? Kasi ang detailed unit price analysis niyan, ang contract price niyan is about 157,000 pesos. Pero alam mo kung magkano lang ang totoong cost niyan, ano? At cost niyan is about 46,000.
Also more than
May
twice.
kita,
Yeah.
may kita na yung kwan dyan. May kita na yung kwan dyan. May kita na yung contractor diyan. Nandiyan sa range ng 46,000 to 60,000 kasi depende yan sa wattage eh.
Um, Mayor, are you also planning, because I was with the General Torre just the other day and we discussed about yung mga trolls and disinformation. Sinampan niya ng kaso before we go to Duterte, one of yung mga trolls na yung pinapalabas na patay na siya, ganyan, ganyan. Obviously, I raised the concern na, do you want to set a precedence whereby public officials are just filing cyber libel against critical citizens, and his position was enough is enough. Tama na. Parang sumobra na kasi bastusan na. Ikaw, Mayor, did you ever think about responding legally to some of these really salacious, if not sensationalized and really black propaganda against you? Kasi sabi mo, bating nga ikaw, na-shock ka na parang nag-next level na eh. Parang you thought hanggang dito lang, next thing you know, it's already speed mode na.
We're thinking about it. Pero naisip namin na distraction lang eh. Ang dami pa namin gagawin, especially during these elections. Kailangan nakafocus kami ngayon sa mga community engagement namin. So probably after, saka namin pag-iisipan, pag-uusapan. Right now,
Mm.
sinet aside na namin. Pero siguro it's about time. Tama yung ginawa ni General Torre. It's about time that you have to send a strong message by filing cases against these people.
Yeah, I mean, and, of course, we're all for freedom of expression and all, pero kung mukhang talagang may nakalatag na yan, di ba, to use Senator Trillanes' term, I think there should be a response. And obviously, I come from the point of view of even yung issues related sa national security, kung mukhang may money trail, etc. There has to be a response to that in as much as we want to welcome democratic discourse. Now, balikan natin dito sa campaign nyo, Mayor. Ano yung mga ginagawa niyo sa campaign niyo para siguraduhin niyo na andun yung momentum, andun pa rin yung support base despite your limited resources, despite the fact that baka may anti-incumbency sentiment na after a while. Kaya nga I was asking gaano ka tumatagal ba? Minsan kasi nagkakaroon ng anti-incumbency sentiment rin. It's just a matter of time and fatigue, something new naman. And then of course also because of all of this cesspool of disinformation, ano yung mga ginagawa niyo to counter that? Because you're not the only mayor facing that, right? Mayor Vico Soto, who we can also talk about shortly, and we hope to also have on this show, also has been dealing with grabe yung di ba, yung disinformation sa kanya. Yung isang araw, lumabas pa siya, di ba? Tapos binuking niya na, hindi naman kayo taga dito eh. Parang kayo eh, hatak kayo eh, di ba? Ikaw na, QC kayo yata, di ba? But I mean, he did it in a very, I would say, cordial way. Pero lumalaban na rin si Vic Soto eh. Napansin ko, hindi na siya, Vico Soto, sorry. Well, also Vic Soto, but ibang issue na yan. Yeah, so I was wondering, like, maybe you're also thinking of taking a little bit more proactive, or because dating police ka, you're concerned na you might come off wrong. Kasi baka mamaya may mangyari, sisitayin ka pa.
Hindi naman, ang ginagawa ko lang is restraint, ano, restraint. And at the same time, iniisip ko lang na there will be time, in due time, we'll be able to confront all these issues na nire-raise, especially in the aspect of all this, the disinformation and misinformation. By the way, Richard, I just would like to clarify, hindi pa kami nagka-campaign kasi sa March 28 pa yung campaign natin. Ano? But nonetheless,
Ah,
inuumpisa na
wala
namin
no. Sorry,
community.
sorry. Yes, yes. Okay, what is your plan pala? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Inumpisa na namin yung mga public engagement, consultation sa community level para lang ma-clarify yung mga issues. At alam mo, nakakatuwa na pag na-clarify, mali pala yung mga kwento sa amin, mali pala yung ginagawa, mali pala yung mga sinasabi. Nakla-clarify namin yung mga issues na yan. At the same time, tuloy-tuloy pa rin namin yung mga fact-checking namin. We're posting sa social media para kwan kagad. Initially, ma-address kagad namin yung mga concerns ng mga tao. Tuloy-tuloy din yung mga radio interviews namin just to clarify matters. Tapos panay-panay pa rin tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung aming mga programs and projects. There's no let up to that. Yung aming programa on good governance, tuloy-tuloy pa rin. And I believe if we continue to stick to all these programs, especially advocating, strongly promoting itong good governance namin, at the same time, uh, expressing our strong opposition to corruption. I believe we'll be able to make a lot of headway pagdating dito.
And ano yung mga landmark projects, Mayor, that you remind people of para like for instance si Mayor Soto like talks about yung project nila sa yung bago nilang City Hall, ano yung mga pwede mangyari. I'm just using it for people to have a point of reference. No? Of course, everyone loves Baguio for the things that we know. Pero yung mga ano yung mga malalaking project over the past half a decade or so, Mayor, that you're leaning on to remind people na actually may ROI yung kanilang in a sense like bumoto sila sa tamang mayor na there's something because you need concrete, literally concrete, ano, 'di ba? Performance minsan, no, to keep people on your side.
Well, unang projects namin are yung mga huge yung mga malalaki na mga barangay halls namin. Unlike in the past that we only allot about 5 million, 10 million para sa barangay hall. This time we're
Yung
allotting
sa
about
atin sa
50
Bakaking, 'di ba? Ang laki.
Yeah,
That's the biggest nicest barangay hall I've seen so far.
meron pa mas malaki na ngayon doon,
Yan.
Richard. Marami na, oo. Doon
Oh,
sa
wow.
Irisan, meron na
Right,
rin.
right.
Doon sa Quirino Hill, meron dito sa Gabriela Silang. Meron pa tayong ginagawa ngayon sa Cabinet Hill at meron pa uling ginagawa sa Trancoville, meron na namang gagawin, meron na naman sa Duntogan. Ilang barangays na ginagawa natin ng ganong kalalaki. Sa Bayan Park, gano'n na rin. Ano. Aside from that, ito yung mga developments ng ating mga parks. You probably saw the transformation of Botanical Garden. Tapos yung Burnham Park will already start with the transformation. After pa na siguro, after the summer season, nakiusap kasi ako sa Chesa na umpisa na lang sa pagkatapos na lang ng elections o kaya sometime June kasi ngayon talagang busy-busy ang Burnham Park. Ang dami pupunta doon because summer season. Another is yung sa Bayan Park, talagang dinedevelop na namin. Tapos itong Sunshine Park natin, the park beside the University of the Philippines. And then ito naman, we're working closely with the GSIS for the tree park, which is beside the convention center. So another is yung ating an island program, and adopt a park program. Isa rin yan sa napakalaking nating project. That's why when you come up to the city of Baguio, nakikita mo siya, ang gaganda ng mga islands natin. Ano? These are led by the private sector. And then we also have yung road widening, tuloy-tuloy yan, yung ating pedestrianization of Session Road, pati na rin yung Blue Walks program at yung Green Walks. Yung Green Walks naman, ito yung making the city a walkable city. Kaya nakita mo, we are improving our sidewalks and we're recovering our sidewalks as well. Yung Blue Walks naman, ito, upcoming to na project natin para dun sa ating we're going to improve further itong mga drainage systems natin, particularly our creeks and our canals, water canals. Another is itong malaking project natin, itong STP, which we are now taking a loan of about 43 million US dollars so that we'll be able to really clean yung Balili River and at the same time improve further yung treatment ng wastewater natin. This is a 43 million loan from the ADB and hopefully it will be approved this year. Meron tayong nakakagulat na meron tayong 7 PPP projects. Kaya nga nagtatanong minsan sa akin ng Makati Business Club kasi nagkaroon kami ng forum. They have also invited several local chief executives, governors, and mayors. And they were really surprised na, uy, bakit ang dami ng... Kasi yung ibang mga LGUs, isa o dalawa lang yung kanilang PPP.
Right,
Ano?
seven is a
Pero
lot.
sa atin, nakita nila na high profile, na high impact projects. Nagulat sila. And
Could you
so,
remind the audience of these projects, Mayor? Because the reason why, remember nung pandemic time nag-usap tayo, you were talking about decongestion plans, developing beyond the usual Camp 7 and 8, making sure na mag-spread out na yung Baguio kasi sobrang congested na yung sa gitna.
yes, one is yung market modernization, which is about 4.6 billion pesos. Ano. Ongoing na yung nito. Tapos na rin yung negotiation na to. We are already at the last part of the PPP process. Ano. Katatapos lang yung endorsement ng CDC. Pero pinahinto ko muna kasi we have to finish the process. Kaya uulitin uli namin yung deliberation ng City Development Council. Another is yung ating intermodal transport terminal. If you visited yung ating PITX sa Parañaque?
Hindi pa nga
Uh,
actually, hindi, hindi.
yes, it's an airport. Parang ang environment doon is parang airport siya pero mga buses. Yun din ang ilalagay natin dito sa bandang southern part of Baguio City dito sa Marcos Highway. And the same company that owns PITX will build that mega wide yung company.
The
Another is
Mega
yung
White,
hydroelectric.
okay.
Yes. Another is the hydroelectric plant, na gagawin natin sa Asin, ongoing na rin yung negotiation doon. Another is yung ating yung housing project, which numbering to about 7,000 units, para doon sa ating mga socialized. This is a socialized housing project. So nandun na rin tayo sa umpisa na natin yung negotiation kasi tapos na yung review ng NEDA, yung PPP Center, and they've already endorsed yung proponent sa amin. Another is yung Smart Urban Mobility System, which it's very similar to what the system in Singapore, pero meron tayong controversial na component doon. Ito yung congestion fee na tuloy-tuloy ang pag-engage natin sa mga iba't ibang mga sektor, iba't ibang komunidad para maintindihan lalo. At talagang we have already conducted about 18 or 19 engagement, and I don't really care if you have to go as high as 50 engagement para lang maintindihan ng tao. And we also have to listen to them, to their sentiments, yun ang intention din. And we're also looking for other solutions pa para at least hindi naman siya talagang viable siya kasi talaga yung congestion fee talaga matindi rin yung opposition doon. Kaya wineway namin mabuti. But at the end of the day, wala pa namang congestion fee because it's just a proposal and it has to go through the process, yung PPP process. And of course, the multi-level parking buildings na pa namin, and we're also working closely with BCDA para talagang malagyan pa ng multi-level parkings doon because based on the Smart Urban Mobility Master Plan namin, we have to create about 14,000 public parking slots in the entire city of Baguio. That would be the minimum and the
Grabe,
maximum
yeah.
thousand for us to be able to address itong 58,000 na registered vehicles in the city of Baguio as of 2024 and the 297,000 vehicles of visitors coming up to Baguio every year. So yun para we'll be able to really manage yung mobility and traffic, especially traffic in the city of Baguio.
Mayor, again, I know the campaign has not started per se, or again, we want to be fair at least, but how important is it for you to have a third term para matapos itong mga proyekto na yan? How essential it is to continuity and effectuation of itong mga projects? Kasi ako, matagal ko kinausap mga NEDA, different government officials throughout the years. Si NEDA Secretary Balisacan, Aquino time he was there, now he's here. Alam natin, infrastructure projects take a lot of time. There are a lot of complications, unforeseen expenses, unforeseen regulatory issues, right-of-way issues. Kakapalit lang sa DOTR, baka DICT din.
Yes.
So, I just want people to realize hindi madali itong mga infrastructure projects na yan. So, how important is it, Mayor, for you to have another term at least para, well, a third is the final you can have straight. Para lang tuloy-tuloy ito. How much invested do you feel in that sense.
Well, alam mo to kasi these are game changers na projects eh. Especially in the aspect of addressing our problem on urban decay. Katulad yung market modernization, it will significantly address yung cleanliness ng Balili River because um, a substantial amount of wastewater coming from our market is polluting our Balili River. And besides, the people of Baguio deserves a better and a safer and a sanitation compliant market. Another is ganun din yung ating mga yung ating intermodal transport terminal. Kailangan natin yan para ma-address natin itong problem of traffic at the same time itong carbon emission natin. But alam mo, ang sinasabi sa akin ng mga proponent, Mayor, the reason why we're investing in Baguio is because of your good governance. Sabi niya, very seldom do we encounter local governments who do not ask anything from us. Sabi nga nila. In fact, yung iba nga sa kanila is, sinasabi nga nila na Mayor, marami naman kami napunta na LGU pero only in Baguio talaga kami nakaramdam na gano'n. And word spread, by word of mouth, these investors talk to other investors. Sabi niya, let's go to Baguio kasi talagang very fun sila doon. Good governance talaga doon. Walang corruption doon, walang hiningi. So that's why they're so motivated. At sabi nga nila, paano na lang kung hindi ikaw? Kung ano mangyayari? Baka kaliwat kanan ang hingi sa amin. And that, you know, mawawalan kami ng gana.
Yeah,
Atras na
business
lang
cost.
kami.
Yeah.
Kawa naman ng people, tao ng Baguio.
So at the very least, you bring regulatory certainty, right? I mean, at the very least, to put it in a very generic sense, and that's important for long-term investment decisions. Mayor, speaking of enthusiasm, kamusta yung volunteer-based support nyo? Kasi we know that that was very important in your re-election, very tough re-election the other time, despite limited budget. We know that other good governance champions like Commissioner Mendoza are largely relying really on organic volunteer-based support. In your case, Mayor, kamusta yung enthusiasm? Among younger generation, among volunteers, or what are the challenges rather in that front para tuloy-tuloy ito? Because at the end of the day, Mayor, you can just serve 3 terms, right? Dapat tuloy-tuloy
Yeah.
lang ito eh, yeah.
Alam mo, um, kailangan mo kasing ibenta yung sarili mo. Do you trust me? Yun ang tanong dun eh. Do you trust me? And do you believe in our good governance? And at the same time, the only way to be able to convince them about good governance is good governance should always start with me. There's no substitute to leadership by example. Eh. Dapat nakikita nila sa akin yun. I cannot just simply compel people to behave and be transparent if I'm not at all transparent or if not to not to be on the take if I am on the take. Parang ganun yun eh. So, kailangan mag-umpisa lahat sa akin. Alam mo, I'm getting a lot of volunteers. People who are willing to support the Good Governance Alliance, the Good Governance Movement, without any monetary consideration. Ang dami. But many of them are from the younger generation, surprisingly matindi sa younger generation. And that's the reason why dito sa Baguio, we're so much into youth empowerment and youth leadership, developing their leadership potentials. At ang dami namin programa ngayon to develop the leadership potentials of our young people at the same time, yung kanilang involvement sa governance. In fact, if you look at alam mo ba na, Richard, we have about 26 policy-making bodies in the entire city. Nandiyan yung Peace and Order Council, yung City Development Council, yung Anti-Drug Council, at iba-iba pa ang council. Dami yan. Yung Character Council, People's Council. If you look in the past, if you look at the membership of the young people, they only make up about 1% to 2%. So what we're doing now is we're increasing it to 30%. 30%. So we have a lot of
More than 10
volunteers
times.
coming from
Yeah.
the young people. Yes. So meron na kaming mga councils kami na o committees kami na meron ng mga 18%, meron pang sumobra pa sa 30%. And our young people are very enthusiastic kasi in fact, in many instances, I allow them to preside. And you know what? They're coming up with the right question, the smart question. They're coming up with the smart comment. Kung minsan, nagtitinginan na lang kami. Nagtitinginan na lang kami ng mga elders doon sa mga committee. Nagkikindatan na lang kami. And I believe, we are on the right track in, empowering our young people here in the city of Baguio.
I hope so because to be honest, Mayor, I think yung generation namin, yung mga older millennials and all, we went through the earthquake. We went through the bad reconstruction after the earthquake. I don't want to name drop, but there was a duo or trio back in the day na purong sila na lang nagro-rotate. I remember very much those days. So medyo, I won't say cynical. I was never cynical about politics. That's why I do what I do. Pero a part of me was always, sayang naman ang Baguio, sayang naman Baguio. We could do so much better. Why are these people? And again, we don't need to name drop. So to be honest, that's why we were very happy when, people like you and some other progressive leaders were able to make it to mayor office and leave a good footprint. Kaya I feel very invested in this. Now, last part, Mayor. I'm not gonna part with you without raising this because this is the interest of how do you say, good friends stab each other in the front, right? No, I think
Yeah.
one area. I mean, you're also close with Senator Lacson. And Senator Lacson is now with the admin slate. And I think there's a reason why I think Senator Lacson has been I think he's been happy generally with the direction of the BBM administration on many fronts, including West Philippine Sea defense issues, which are close to his heart. And of course, Senator Lacson is very much known also for as being a fiscalizer. He never took pork barrel, among others. So, where I come from here is that why is there this idea that you're a little bit too soft on the Dutertes or you have a soft spot for President Duterte? No, because people say, oh, what about Farmali? What about, I mean, that's not blaming you directly. You were the czar for contact tracing. Walang kinalaman sa'yo yan. But it's not like the Duterte administration was not free of, alleged anomalies, not to mention the extrajudicial killings and everything that we can discuss. So the reason why, Mayor, I developed this trust and respect for you is because even nung time ni Digong I interviewed you, in fairness, you were very clear with your principles and all. And I really encourage people to check our interviews back in the day, diba? Hindi ito cyclical. You have been quite consistent about this. But what do you have to say about people? And this is the criticism also raised even with some of our friends. No? But bakit purong ina-attack na yung admin ngayon? What about the previous administration? When in fact, a lot of things we're suffering from now are also legacies of the pandemic era, some of the misdeeds or shortcomings of the previous administration. What do you have to say about that, Mayor?
Mabuti na lang tinanong mo yan sa akin, Richard, because a lot of people are getting a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and a lot of intrigues about what surrounding this incident, especially yung mga pronouncement ko. First is, alam mo, as a mayor, you have to work closely with the administration. Importante yan eh. Importante yan. For you to be able to get, support, funding for your projects. Otherwise, you cannot. You cannot. I just would like to emphasize that I've never attacked our administration, the present administration. In fact, I've been saying a lot of good things about our president. I have a chance to work closely with the president in several occasions. I was part of the small group, meetings, and I saw him asking the right questions, asking the smart questions. Amazing, amazing. Talaga. Kumisa nga, yung mga kilala ko mga attendees doon, hindi sila makasagot na maayos eh. And he's very considerate. I've been very, very consistent in telling that. And at the same time, pandi naman ako doon sa mga programa niya. Sa mga programa, especially in the aspect of foreign relations. Gusto ko yan. During the time of President Duterte, especially during the pandemic, talagang naramdaman namin yung kanyang tulong sa syudad ng Baguio, especially when we needed it most. The aspect first is yung ating mga kailangan ng mga logistics for us to be able to combat itong itong COVID-19, yung mga PPEs, yung mga medicines, yung mga vaccines, ang dami niyang naipadala sa amin. Ganon din si Bongo, every time na tumawag ako sa kanya, ito yung mga financial assistance to indigent to those experiencing or in crisis situations, yung mga MAIP, yung mga tupad, ang dami rin niya. Alam mo, dawat tawag ko, nagpapadala kaagad sila. Nung kailangan ko ng mga suporta sa medical, lalo-lalo na dun sa pag nauubos na yung pera sa Malasakit Center, immediately, meron na naman kaagad mayroon na loading ng mga Malasakit Center. Kasi alam mo, ang syudad ng Baguio, hindi lang naman kami ang nakikinabang diyan sa BAGH eh. If you do a survey, siguro out of 10 patients doon, siguro 3 o 4 lang ang taga Baguio. The rest are 6 are from the lowlands, At nakakalungkot na isipin na talagang nangangailangan din kulang ang facilities din ng mga sa mga lowlands kaya nag-aakyatan nila sila sa Baguio General Hospital. At kalamitan dito, ako ang tatakbuhan. And I just don't simply say na, oh, hindi ko kayo susuportan kasi hindi naman kayo taga rito eh. I have to help everyone. Kaya nauubos kagad yung pera sa Malasakit Center. So how do you manage to fund it? Eh kulang ang aming pondo. And that's where Senator Bongo comes in. Every time na I give him a call, halos wala siyang kwan. Hindi niya ako tinatanggihan. Maya-maya, nandiyan na kagad ang tulong. Ano. Another is, alam mo nung time na nag-open kagad kami ng economy, Richard, we were the first to open our economy in 2021, and that's probably the reason why our GDP growth then
Recovery.
was at
Yeah.
9.9. And then kami yung highest sa buong city, ano? Alam mo, I was criticized by no less than NTF, yung mga kasamahan ko sa NTF. Ano? Tuloy-tuloy ang sinasabi nila sa akin na, Mayor, you have violated the policy. You should not have open your economy. And I still told them, nakadapa na kami. And if you look at our system, I believe we are capable of opening our economy. Sabi ko sa kanila. And then sinabihan nila si Presidente, si former President Duterte. Alam mo, sabi niya, alam mo, gawin nyo na lang, tulungan nyo na lang ang Baguio. Tulungan nyo ang Baguio. So in short, ang laki ng naitulong niya sa mga taga Baguio. Huwag na nang isipin yung personal na interest ko. It has nothing to do whatsoever yung sa akin. Although I just would like to make it clear, there are certain policies of the past administration that I do not agree. Also, like EGK, yung WPS, yung foreign relation, I don't agree with that. Pero in so far as the president is concerned, sa laki ng naitulong niya sa mga syudad, hindi syudad ng Baguio sa mga residente ng Baguio, how can I turn my back against him? Di ba? Utang na loob eh. Utang na loob. Ganun na rin yung kay Senator Bongo. Paano ko itatalikod at magsasabi ako ng masama tungkol sa kanila when in fact, when the time, when the, when we needed them most, they were there helping us. I cannot just simply turn my back to people who have helped us. Ang iniisip ko rito is yung people of Baguio. Siguro yun ang isang bagay na hindi nila nararamdaman. Not, they have to be a mayor to understand it. You have to be a mayor to understand it.
Well, at least you're honest about it, yung sense of utang na loob. And you're not the first mayor I've talked to. I remember even Isko back in the day would say something similar when he was mayor of Manila na while he doesn't agree with the EJK issue, medyo he has difference of opinions. Hindi rin niya maitatanggi yung mga tulong na nakuha nila from Malacanang. But obviously, the counter argument to that mayor would be, and I'm not here to debate. I will just, the counter argument would be like, well, first of all, we have to make sure na utang na loob doesn't blind us to some of the realities. But more importantly, the issue also is, well, baka some people were also smart to invest in you because they saw you as an important ally down the road. Na in a sense that, oy, sino yung mga malalaking... You get what I'm saying? Now, maybe there was a quid pro quo understanding there. I'm not saying on your part. I'm just saying maybe sometimes people invest in you, not because they genuinely believe in what you're doing, but because they see you as a big potential national leader. And to be honest, Mayor, you have become a national leader. I mean, yung League of Mayors for Good Governance, people have been discussing about you as a potential national candidate down the road. Although, let's see, wag muna tayo dyan, 2025 muna tayo. So, again, you don't have to answer that. I'm just saying, for the purpose of, just to clear the air. I just felt I had to raise that. And thank you so much, Mayor, for being very transparent and open about this. I prefer this kind of answer, to be honest, this kind of honest answer than yung mga, ay, hindi tapos yung mga palusot and all. So, at least you have been transparent. And that's what I appreciate, Mayor, about you. And also you're on top of the data and all of that. So I really, really appreciate that, Mayor. And hopefully soon we can meet in person para lang makita din natin on the ground once the campaign proper starts. Para we can do some videography and all and get a sense of how is campaigning in our home city and also some idea about the projects, all of that. Again, I'm doing this not out of partisan concern. I'm doing this because I care about good governance in my hometown and in my country. And kayo po, isa sa mga pito or so na champions of good governance po na naisip ko for this little series, mini series that we have. So thank you so much, Mayor. I know you have a lot to do. I know you're exhausted. How do you keep the energy going, Mayor?
Well, I
Pagod yung
continue to
trabaho mo eh.
exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, alam mo, I receive about a minimum of 500 messages a day. Iba pa yung emails. And then I have to engage. Sometimes I have 17 engagement in one day. Minsan sumasakay na nga lang ako sa motor para nang hindi ako ma-traffic. Kaya ako ngayon, inaatake ako ng allergy ko ngayon. Hirap ako. Kaya inaatake na ako ngayon. Hindi na ako mapagsalita.
Please take care of your sir, Mayor. Mahaba-habang usapan pa to. No matter what happens in 2025 elections, of course, everyone is hoping the best result for the best candidate. Sana tuloy-tuloy ito yung atikain niyo, Mayor. And of course, alam naman natin what you have achieved so far, hopefully just sows the seed of constant. Kilusan kasi ang kailangan natin, Mayor, di ba? At the end of the day, we need a movement. Hindi pwede umasa lang tayo sa good leaders because good leaders are human beings. Lahat naman tayo mawawala at some point eh. But if we can leave that
Yeah.
legacy and create a movement, I think that's the most important thing. So I hope itong mga little conversations natin, pwede balikan ng mga ating mga kabataan down the road or other aspiring leaders and mayors down the road as an inspiration. So thank you so much, Mayor Benjamin
Very
Magalang.
much, Richard.
Of course, and please always feel free to reach out. And if there anything that you feel you have to clarify and all, including a little bit of a sensitive discussion we had, please feel free, and I'm more than happy to engage you on those issues. Maraming salamat. God bless, and talk to you soon. And see you soon, Mayor
Thank you.
Magal.
Mabuhay ka, Richard. Thank you.
Mabuhay po.